Welcome to Selling Cars on Social. I'm Dave Benson, your host, and this week's episode we've got an awesome guest on the program, Dominic Box from Joplin, Missouri. He is going to share some strategies on how to build an organic reach without spending any money on advertising and build 75 to 90% of his monthly sales from social media. He's going to talk about Facebook Marketplace. He's going to talk about being creative on videos. Make sure you check out this episode, Selling Cars on Social. Here's Dominic Box.
Even if the people that responded to me weren't buyers, I was still able to open up that dialogue with a customer who hadn't been to my lot and may know somebody that's in the market, you know? So
Wow. So Marketplace, you're big on Facebook Marketplace.
Huge on it.
How often do you post there, Dom?
Let's see. I'm posting there twice a day at most. I try to take, a picture. I try to get a picture of every vehicle of every, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. So I get a picture of one of every vehicle. I put it on the marketplace, and then the beauty of it is, and I don't know if this is Facebook ethical or not, but I can make one post and sell that same vehicle 5 times. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mark it as sold. It's like a constant, billboard or an ad that keeps running. And I'm not disingenuous.
So you're taking it down and then reposting it? Is that what you're doing, Dom?
No, I'm not. I keep it up, and I just never mark it sold. Unless it's a particular vehicle, like, something with a crazy color or a certain package, then I take it down. But so I post it in the marketplace. I share it because you can share it in up to 10 groups. I share the post in 10 different areas, and I'll get, truly within a minute, I'm going to have 5 responses because you think about it, your dealership may see 20 people a day. Hundreds, thousands of people are on Facebook Marketplace at all hours of the day, and you post something out there, right? And it's there for everybody to see. Yeah. And they just keep coming.
Wow. So you posted 10 groups. Okay. So you put it on Marketplace and then you share it to 10 groups. What are the groups, man? You shared some gold here, man. I love this. It's practical.
So I live in Joplin. And I'm sure, you live in Dallas, you live in, I don't know, Philly, whatever your city is. Go to Facebook, right? Go to the search bar, type in the name of your city and buy, sell, or trade, give, or vehicles for sale. You're going to get a list of populated stuff. And I don't care if you're in, a small dust bowl in the middle of nowhere. Okay. People are on Facebook and they're creating these groups to share. So you've got the Facebook Marketplace, and then you have groups where people are trading, buying, selling stuff all day. I know you guys have seen this. And if
so you have local groups. So you're really targeting in on local groups, and that's where the traffic's coming from. Hey, by the way, if you are live with us on Facebook, I know it's glitchy, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep rolling it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm recording this. This will then be uploaded onto my profile, onto Dom's, and you'll be able to get a recording of it. I'm sorry, it's a little bit glitchy tonight, but broadcast interrupted, choppy. That's all right, man. We're recording this, so we will throw it up, Dom. So we'll answer questions in the Sales Hustlers group and stuff later. I wanted to ask you, so you got the biggest benefit was you got a whole stack, in your first month, basically, of doing it. How many are you getting consistently on average? How many sales are you making from social media?
So from the Facebook Marketplace and my social engagement, as a whole, like I've said, it's probably anywhere from truly 75 to 90% of my vehicles a month. And that's, 12 to 15 easy a month, and this month, I have my Q421 project. If I could get all 21 vehicles, that'd be great.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I like it, man. Well, you can blow this up. But let's talk about you do these cool videos, right, which are different to what you do in Marketplace. Yeah. You have this edge, man. You have this creativity. Talk to us about how the creativity counts.
So that's the big thing, right? There's nobody at my dealership that can't post the same things that I can post, right? That's the boring. That's the numbers side of thing. The important thing and the crucial thing that's been the most beneficial to me has been creating my own brand. And that doesn't mean just having a catchy name with a catchy title, you know, my customers know and expect my character, my personality to show. And I mean, I'm a crazy guy. When I started, back, earlier this year, I had hair down to here, down my chest. I had the man bun. Everybody called me honey bun. And there are no videos that you can actually see that. But, I'm a wild dude. Like, I know I'm crazy. I've lived a crazy life. And I've learned to laugh about it. So it's never bothered me. I've always been somebody that's, not necessarily outgoing, but I know that I'm not a cookie cutter, and I'm not afraid to show that, because for a long time, I guess I tried to hide who I was.
Yeah.
And I've learned that, people respond and really respect, it's okay to be weird. It's okay to wear shorts and flame socks, wear these heart sunglasses, whatever you want to do. People, because it's different,
Sure.
and that's, the people that like it, they tell their friends. And, whether or not you buy a car from me, if you see my videos and you engage with me, like that's fun too.
Yeah, well, you know what I like? I mean, you obviously bring fun back to dealerships. And look, dealerships are places that customers want to avoid more and more these days. And you can tell from your videos that you're having fun with your customers, you're having fun with your grandma. I mean, you're spotting UFOs. I mean, it's all happening.
Man, that's the thing. Dom does cars, but Dom does have a life as well. And I want to share that, if I just posted every single time I sold a car, people would think that was, that was it. That was my only motivation. And I want people to get to know me. So we have things to talk about, and so they can not feel like it's all business, even if at the end of the day, when we sit down at the table, I'm ready to get it, that's, and that's something I kind of wanted to talk about. I have my personality. I have the character Dom does cars.
Sure.
But, when you meet me at my dealership, and when you give me the opportunity to really help your family and help you make one of the largest, outside of your education and your residential situation, largest financial person in your life, I'm going to give you the respect, the professionalism, and all that, and the honesty that you deserve. I mean,
so you've got this great balance between the personality, the professionalism. You're posting on Marketplace, which is a strategy that can work for anybody. But then you're doing these creative videos so that we're getting to know you. And I was only noticing you did a video a couple of days ago, posted it on a couple of groups, and literally within 24 hours, I think I saw it afterwards. You had more than 1,000 views on it. I think about 1,500 views on it, and well, for the person listening in, whether it's on the live or or the recording, what would you say would be the first strategy that you would do from a social media? Would it be the Marketplace, or would it be edgy videos? What if people aren't funny? What if people haven't got, they're boring like me?
Well, I don't think you're a very boring guy. But the first thing, and there are guys at my dealership that I talk to, the most important thing you can do is create your business page. I don't care if your name is Xylophone. Find something that sounds good. Something, Dom does cars, Seth sells cars, whatever. Create something that is separate from your personal page. Put that out there, okay? If your main motivation, if you're struggling with sales, then creating funny videos is not going to drive you, bring you money. It's not going to be immediately financially lucrative, okay? So it's kind of like a three-pronged attack. Make your page. Give people somewhere to go, right? Create a revenue driving force. Post to Marketplace. It doesn't matter. People, you don't even need to worry about your business page by posting to Marketplace, because you're going to post to that and share to groups from your personal page. So I don't care if you have one friend, if you have 1 million friends. You have access to those groups the same as everybody else, okay? So don't let the anxiety about being new to this put you off. So you share to the Marketplace. Immediately you're going to start having contacts. So then you've got your brand, you've got your page set up, and then you say, hey, here's my number. Head over to Seth Sells Cars, like that, and I'm going to show you where all my videos and different pictures of my inventory of whatever are, okay? And then as you're building that traffic and sending people somewhere, you want to have a reason to keep them there. Okay. You want to give them something to remember outside of, oh, well, Dom sold a Dodge Journey yesterday, a Jeep Renegade the day before. Because if the only time you have people, again, interacting with your page is when it's about the numbers, then they're not going to talk about you. They're not going to remember you. And so the funny videos that I make, the pictures and the different crazy stuff, is to help build the brand. That's where it comes into building the brand. And, making a funny video doesn't make me money right away.
Sure.
But what it does do is gets people talking, gets people sharing. And so they're seeing Dom Does Cars over and over and over again. And eventually they think about buying a car. They're like, oh, remember that crazy guy with the socks, or the guy that, jumped in the pool, whatever, or the guy that saw the alien, and that's where it's going to pay dividends. You get people talking, you stay on their mind, and then boom, it's the long con.
Yeah, I like it because, like, when we met in Orlando last week, and it was a bizarre Tinder type hookup, wasn't it? There was we had people from all around the United States, and myself from Australia, or Australasia, I call it now, and that covers both where I live and where I work. But no one had ever met one another, but I felt like I already knew Dom because I'd watched your videos. Like, we'd connected, and we'd had conversation. I'd seen the glasses, I'd met grandma, all that sort of stuff. Like, I mean, I keep talking about grandma, but I thought you were crazy when I saw you post the video about the UFOs. But as I'm seeing the why behind what you do, I think it's really powerful.
So let's think about it. What's one of the most difficult things to do when you first meet a customer, or God forbid, you've already talked about everything on the car and you're sitting on that test drive, which should be a 10 to 12 mile test drive, Yep. You got to find something to talk about. And if you are somebody that's shy, that isn't outgoing, that isn't a master of conversation, say they saw a picture of you and your kids at their soccer game, or, they saw you had gone to that new Thai restaurant, and it gives them something to talk about. Do you have any idea how many people, like, even just at a gas station, or when I go out to dinner, they're like, hey, Dom, seen any more aliens or whatever? And it's funny. It's true, by the way, but it gives people something to talk about.
Yeah.
And that's where it's valuable. And the nicest thing is if you have nothing, if you're not somebody who's techie, you're not somebody who knows every single bit about your cars, man, people eat up just hearing about your day, sharing where you're at. And it shows people that you're you're a human. You're not a robot that's just there to rip money out of their pocket. And
you look at the Kardashians. Now, I don't watch the Keeping Up with the Kardashians that often. I have to say, occasionally cable TV gets put on in a hotel. But I'm intrigued by it because there is nothing about their life that's any different to anybody else's, really. From it's the politics, it's the ins and outs, it's the family dynamics, it's all that sort of stuff. They're not really exciting people, but they've got one of the largest followings of all time, and probably have built the number one TV show in that reality TV space, based on just getting to know the personalities. Right,
and I appreciate being somewhat equated to the Kardashians, but
well, man, I think if we hadn't have dropped out on Facebook, man, we would have gone as viral as the Kardashians tonight. So.
Right, but man, no, that's the thing, is it humanizes you. It allows you to share the person behind the name tag, and I think people really like that.
Yeah, it's great, man. So what I want to do is I want to pull back to what you would say to somebody watching in. You said that to start off, if you're gonna maximize selling cars on social media, you're talking about the number one step is not to boost posts and create ads. The number one step is to create a business page and then to start posting on Marketplace.
So yeah, would you? I'm gonna give you guys a very, I don't have any notes in front of me. You put me on the spot, but I'm happy, here's what I did. And this is what I've done with several different projects I've worked on. Create your name. Mine's Dom Does Cars. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I go to Gmail. domdoscars@gmail. If it's available, boom, take it. Facebook, create that page. If that name is available, boom, lock it down. Instagram, lock it down. Snapchat, lock it down. Twitter, lock it down. And if it's not available, you want your name to be as close to, you know, what all the others are as possible, because cohesion and synchronizing everything makes it so much easier to disseminate everything. So you've locked down your brand name. You've locked down the name of your page and everything else, okay? And if you're trying to earn dollars tomorrow, then you get on Facebook, you're on your phone, you pull it up. You click the marketplace logo right there in the middle. Right? You can't see it. Right there in the middle, okay? Yep. You share your 1 or 2 pictures. Now, my trick, when I'm posting a vehicle to sell, I put a monthly payment possibility with $1,000 down at an average APR. So, for example, on a Dodge Journey, I'm not putting $25,000. I'm putting $350. Okay. And then in my description, I indicate, you know, 300, you know, I kind of church it up a little bit, and I have like a catchy saying, and I write it something different, but I make sure I indicate, you know, 350, whatever it is an attainable and reasonable expectation for a monthly investment based on an average initial investment, standard credit options, and, you know, your personal financial history. So I'm not lying. I'm not being disingenuous. And I explain to people, okay? So I create that ad, I put in the text, and then I share it to 10 different groups. You've got to already be in the groups, but once you are, and that takes 2 seconds to find and add them to Facebook. Yep. I share it to those 10 groups, and then immediately the follow-up it begins.
So how many, sorry, you might have said it, but how many photos do you put in Marketplace of the car?
Lost the glasses. I'm going to take 1 picture of it looking really good from the front.
Yep.
Right? 1 of either the side, the interior, or the engine, and then 1 from the back. Okay? Now, if you have an iPhone or whatever you use, on the picture, you want to find a filter. For me, I use Transfer or Chrome. I open up the text editor, put in my brand name, and then I share those 2 or 3 pictures along with, you know, the name of the vehicle and a catchy description to 10 places.
Right.
And I guarantee you could post a picture of a broken down Ford Pinto, and within 5 minutes, you're going to have 25 leads. I guarantee it.
It's fantastic, man. That's absolutely gold what you're sharing there, Tom, man. I appreciate it. I'm giving interestingly enough, I was gonna talk to Stephen tonight, Stephen LaPlante, about the whole Facebook ads, and I know he spends a bit of time, a bit of money on the whole Facebook ad area. So, you know, man, we're taking it in a completely different direction. I love it because, you know, I tell you, the average punter out there, the average salesperson, hasn't got the finances right now to start spending on Facebook ads. And the problem with Facebook ads that I've seen and I've experienced, you know, early on in the piece is you can spend a lot of money and not get a lot of results. All you do is line Mark Zuckerberg's pockets, as I always say.
And another thing to remember is, at least for me, Facebook didn't charge, because I ran the 2 ads at different times throughout the month, but I actually didn't get charged until the end of the month. And by the time I was running those Facebook ads, I was very clearly in a position where I needed some extra publicity. So getting hit kind of unexpectedly at the end of the month and seeing no real return kind of stuck with me. And I'm not knocking Facebook ads, because I know they work for some people.
Massive.
But man, if you can target and figure out some way to get, and just follow the simple marketplace tips I've given, man. Like, there's no, you know, sorry, Mark Zuckerberg.
No, you're right. I mean, maybe you Facebook hacked it, man. He set up marketplaces for that reason. And look, you know, you're engaged with it. You're posting a couple of times a day to it. I like your idea about being creative and putting a payment in there. Obviously, you know, make sure that you consult business management or some advice before you get yourself in trouble in that area. But I know Dom sorts that out. But at the same time, he's got that creativity flair where it's not just all about the car, right? I mean, you've got to sell more than that. in 2017. So, Dom, man, that's fantastic advice. We're going to take a couple of questions. I know that we have not glitchy anymore.
Sure.
So we're going to take a couple of questions. If you've got a question, Donnie Grady says, "G'day, Donnie. How are you, champion? What about Inner Circle?"
The original Donnie Grady.
The original Donnie Grady. I got one tonight from my first post to Marketplace. How good's that, right? So his first post, he gets a sale. How good's that, man?
What did I tell you?
There you go, man.
He said, I remember I saw Donnie's post earlier. He said, it almost seemed too easy. Tell me, Donnie, was it too easy?
That's cool. I mean, it is once you know what you're doing. He's given the thumbs up, man. So, Larry Melanix, what do you share to Marketplace? I hope we answered that question. I saw that a little bit earlier. That's why I took it that way. Yes, you still need a catch line.
I would tell everybody the easiest thing to do, post one of every vehicle. And if you get a cool color or a special trim package, be sure to put that in. And it doesn't really matter if you think you're overloading Marketplace, because you're not, okay? Especially if you live in a city. You know, I'm thinking, you know, even somebody in a Dust Bowl, okay, they're going to have this opportunity to make money on Marketplace. It's that easy.
Well, it's a good point, because it's an interesting, I mean, there's so many people in those groups posting the Marketplace. You're not the only person. It's not like you can bombard and, you know, all they're seeing is Dom Does Cars. That's the cool thing.
Right.
I mean, even in the Sales Hustlers group, I've noticed, like, I go to sleep, I wake up, and there's 20 people that have posted to the Sales Hustlers group, right? I mean, even if I do a video every 8 hours, right, I'm only going to be one on the feed. And that's the thing about people's feed. If you're not consistently posting, you know, you just get lost with everybody else's posts. So,
right. And that's the biggest thing. Yeah, not to interrupt you, but that's a real reality. You know, once you start doing it, once you start having success, I guarantee you, and it's not a bad thing, but people at your dealership are going to start following what you're doing. They're going to start using your tricks or your tips. And so it's imperative not only to stay relevant, but to stay competitive. It's got to be an everyday thing. And I know Sean Hayes, your car guy out of St. Augustine, he's somebody that's really had an impact on me. He establishes a routine where his customers, his followers, his audience expect to see Sean every morning. And I'm a huge Sean follower myself. But if you start posting every day at a set time, or you have a consistent theme, like for me, and you know, I'm surprised I kind of slacked off a little bit, but I have my dashboard deal of the week, which is a new car. I post a video from inside it every Monday. And that builds a following that way. And that's something, man, I'm going to have to go do one tonight. I just thought about it.
But consistency is the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Well, Dom, you know what I love? I love it's organic. I love it. You haven't spent a stack load of money. You're relevant. You're in Joplin, Missouri. I don't know where that is, but I know like you said, right. It's not a big town. It's
not a metropolis.
Yeah, exactly. So, man, if Dom Does Cars can do it, that means you can do it too. That's what it's about. Selling cars on social. Every single week, we want to spotlight somebody that is actually doing it, that can share some of the strategies. Dom, I really appreciate you coming on tonight, especially at late notice, man.
Yeah, man. It was short notice, but man, it was fun. I hope I helped somebody. If anybody has any questions or wants any more detail, or like a literal step-by-step thing, hit me up at on Facebook, Dom Does Cars, all the social media, Dom Does Cars at Gmail, or join me in Sales Hustlers, man. Drop me a line in there. Post something in there. I love helping other people that want to be helped. And you're not bothering me, and we can all grow together, man. So it's really easy. It's not scary, and it works. So thank you. Thank you for having me, Dave.
Well done, Dom. Thank you so much. If you've been watching this on Facebook Live, sorry about the technical difficulties tonight. We have put a recording together, so I'll make sure that I upload that to the Sales Hustlers group. If you're not already a Sales Hustler, make sure that you like and share the Sales Hustlers group. Man, we have over 3,100 members in just 60 days. People are changing the lives of automotive salespeople right around the world. 11 different countries, Dom. How cool is that, man? 11 different.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
They're from South Africa, they're from Australia, they're from New Zealand, they're from Bali, they're from everywhere, man.
So there's something different about it.
It's cool. It's really cool, right? And again, we haven't paid a cent on advertising. Not a cent. Yeah.
Nope.
Organic stuff, that's real, man. Dom does, Cars. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you next week on Selling Cars on Social.